from Las Vegas, Nevada. Some of the most unusual bowling you've ever seen from the All-American Sport Park. On the left, the ultimate combination of thrill and skill. On the right, he's out to prove he's king of the hill. Today, two of the fiercest teams in collegiate bowling, St. John's University and the University of Kansas, square off for the craziest 10-pin challenge you've ever seen. This is not your father's college bowl. This is Rockin Bowl. Let's meet our mighty competitors for today's round 2 action. The Red Storm of St. John's, Melissa Brovsky, Michael Fagan, Miguel Minguez, Darcy Galadley, Ian Lang, the alternate Sabrina Gordon, and the coach Ray Larson Jr. And the Jayhawks, the University of Kansas, Barry Porcos, Mike Keeler, Christina Bain, Scott Light, Tom Partridge, Christy Dessler, and the coach is Mike Vine. Today. First off, the Red Storm of St. John's. Here is Melissa Brovsky on the approach, an 18-year-old freshman from Staten Island, New York.
Very tough spare here. It's the 1-2-4-10. What she needs to do, she needs to get the ball left of the head pin. The ball will cover the 1, 2, and 4, and it'll slide the head pin into the 10 pin.
Red Storm of St. John's University, one of the established teams in the country with the longest history in the sport. And here is Melissa Brovsky for the spare attempt. And leaves the head pin, Randy. Nice try.
Good try, good try. You know, she didn't make the spare, but at least she got 9. And, you know, the reason why she didn't make it, you got to get the head pin over to cover the 10 pin.
And now her competitor, Jayhawks, University of Kansas, in Lawrence, Kansas. Here's 20-year-old Barry Forcos, a junior from Hanover Park, Illinois. High game of 272, and here is her first shot. And Randy never even made it to the pocket.
Yeah, wide right. That ball just, she got it too far to the right. Obviously, we need to get the ball to the head pin to strike.
Here we go. Forcos with her second shot in the first frame of our traditional style game. And she converts and gets the respect and appreciation of her team members.
Let's take a look at this here. Now she's got to get the ball to the left of the head pin. What happens, the ball will hit the head pin on the left side and deflect into the other 3 pins. She made it perfectly.
And so our score after 1 frame of traditional bowling, the Red Storm of St. John's University, they've got a 9. They're working on an open. The Jayhawks, University of Kansas, they're working on a spare, and they have the lead. Hey, guess what, everybody? Time for our first Rockin Bowl frame. For more on speed bowling, here is our own pin pal, Taylor Baldwin.
All you speed demons out there are going to love our first Rockin Bowl frame called speed bowling. The object, to throw the ball as fast as they can. Now, each team gets 1 ball, and every pin knocked down counts for 1 point. Now, here's the catch. Only the fastest ball gets to keep their points. And how will we know? We have our own Officer Tim standing by with a radar gun.
Officer Tim, captain of the Donut Squad, and his trusty radar gun. All right, we are ready. And Randy, there you saw Officer Tim, mean-looking Officer Tim. Here's our bowler in the speed bowling frame for St. John's. It is Michael Fagan, 19-year-old sophomore from Green Lawn. And there is his speed, 23 miles per hour. Pretty good.
That's heat. That is
heat. He's bringing some heat there. Now, Mike Keeler, a 19-year-old sophomore for the Jayhawks at the University of Kansas. 24 for Keeler. So he wins the speed duel, and he's the one that's going to get the total pins. And the total pins for the Jayhawks and Keeler, 3 in our first Rockin Bowl frame spade bowling. And we're going to be seeing more of Officer Tim and his trusty radar gun in the future.
A.K.A. Johnny Bag of Donuts.
Oh, forget about it. All right, we're back to our traditional style bowling now. This is frame 2 of the Baker system game. And on the approach for St. John's, it's going to be Miguel Minguez, a 21-year-old senior from Syosset, New York, who has a 300 game.
And there was his first shot, leaving the 1, 2, 4, and 7, Randy.
You know, I don't know if it's the early jitters, a little nerves, but we've seen the players not getting the ball to the head pin, Gary. You know, he left himself with a tough spare. Got to get the ball left to the head pin. The ball covers the other 3 pins.
Minguez, his second shot at the spare. Piece of cake. Bag of donuts.
You know, not the way I would do it, Gary, but let's take a look at the way he made this now. Remember, I said you needed to go to the left side of the head pin. This is the other way. That's basically a strike ball.
Whichever way he did it, he got it done. And now the Jayhawks from the University of Kansas. Here's Christina Bain. She's a 19-year-old freshman. High game of 300. Her average is 198. And her career goal to become a businesswoman. But right now, she is a bowling woman. Here's her first shot in our second frame of traditional bowling. And a huge one. Big strike for Christina.
Very nice. She's over there getting some high-fiving from teammates. And what a great way to start.
Good form on that one, Randy.
Yeah, really good form. Watch this ball. That's what we call dead flush. And there's no pins left on the deck. Watch this. This was great reaction. Oh, yeah. Give me some high-fiving. Give me some loving. There it is.
And so that is it. After 2 frames of traditional style bowling, it's the St. John's University Red Storm. They're working on a spare in the second. The Jayhawks of the University of Kansas, they have a spare and now working on a strike, and they are the leaders. And here for St. John's, the Red Storm, Darcy Galogly, an 18-year-old freshman, her first shot in our 3rd frame of traditional style bowling.
Yeah, Gary, you know, the speed looked a little soft there. That ball broke very sharply, went right through the nose, leaving what we've called a big 4, the 4, 6, 7, 10. Oh, and, you know,
and Darcy doesn't convert on any of those pins.
You know, you've got to get the count. You've got to knock down at least 2 of the pins.
All right, and there a look at University of Kansas coach Mike Fine. His Jayhawks in the lead right now. You know, as the University of Kansas gets ready to bowl, we thought we'd show you a little more about this bowling powerhouse, a group that's been bowling for quite some time.
Team Kansas is a fierce group of competitors.
She's got a cut on her thumb.
Their experience starting at an early age.
I started bowling when I was 4 years old. They wouldn't let me start until my feet were big enough to fit into the shoes.
I was 8 years old. My dad was into bowling, and I always wanted to be like Daddy's little girl.
But some players do get off to a late start.
I started bowling when I was a freshman in high school. It seemed like I had a lot of catching up to do. I just really went all for it.
And now here is Scott Light from the Jayhawks. Scott, a 21-year-old junior hailing from Andover, Kansas. He's got a high game of 300 and a high series of 799. Here's his first shot in the 3rd frame of traditional style bowling. And Randy leaving a 1, 2, 8, and 10.
Yeah, another washout. That ball was too far to the right. Ball came in late, misses the head pin, and left himself with a really tough split, really tough washout.
And what do you do here?
Well, you got to get the ball left of the head pin. The head pin slides over into the 10, and the ball takes the 2-8 out. Actually, the ball hits the 2, the 2 goes into the 8. And something like that, Gary. I don't know.
And I like his career goal. Pretty much unsure.
Wow, that sounds familiar.
Yeah, that's the way I felt about things in college as well. But that's okay. There's time for Scott Light.
Hook. Oh, yeah.
What an incredible shot. Way to convert that spare.
Very nice. A little slapping going on. Let me show you this, Gary. Just like I described it. This ball goes left to the head pin. The head pin goes right into the 10. Look at the ball knocked the 2 into the 8.
Just as if you would have done it yourself. Rolling it out. Our score, St. John's University, 31 in the 3rd. They are open. The Jayhawks of the University of Kansas. They've got 40, but they are working on a spare in the 3rd, and they are in the lead. I'll tell you what, it's time for our next Rockin Bowl frame. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Daredevil Bowling. Once again, here's the queen of Rockin Bowl, Taylor Baldwin.
Evel Knievel eats your heart out. Our guys are going Daredevil bowling. Here's what they got to do. They got to jump their balls over the ramp and clear the trucks. Now, it's not as easy as it seems because our bowlers need speed, but they got to watch their hooks. Now, each team gets 1 ball, and every pin knocked down counts for 1 point. So let's rock and bowl.
Daredevil bowling. Randy, what do you do here?
Gary, I love this game. This is great. You got to throw velocity. You got to get that ball over the ramp like you did there. Oh, that was beautiful.
Unbelievable.
Did you see the airtime there? I loved it.
That was Ian Lang, a lefty. How do you approach Daredevil bowling? What do you do? And is it different for a lefty?
Well, no, not really. You just got to throw the ball straight. Got to get the ball to jump the ramp.
Tom Partridge for the Jayhawks. He's got this down pat, doesn't he?
Oh, they know how to do this.
Unbelievable. Kind of like Evel Knievel himself.
Absolutely.
Well, there you have it. Daredevil bowling, and it is, in fact, a win for the Jayhawks. 10. They pick up a strike. 13 total in Rockin Bowl, and it's now a total of 7 for the Red Storm from St. John's. They picked up 7 pins in our Daredevil bowling, but now we are back to our traditional Baker-style game. And on the approach for St. John's, it's Melissa Brofsky. She started things out early, and she leaves the 210.
That ball just not getting high enough into the pocket, or didn't catch enough of the head pin, Gary. The ball needs to hook a little bit more. Maybe nerves. Who knows?
Melissa looking for the right kind of medicine here, and she'll be able to provide that for herself later on because she is a pharmacy major. Her career goal to be a pharmacist. Here is her shot at the 210 split.
Looks good. Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Got to get the ball left of the 2-pin, slide it in the 10-pin. It's exactly the way she did it. Let's take a look at this. Watch the ball. Just take the 2, run on the left side, throw it into the 10-pin. Beautifully done.
And her fellow Red Storm members are saying, yeah, Melissa, that is how you do it, baby. Now the Jayhawks at the University of Kansas. Here's Barry Forkos. Again, she started things out. And now Barry taking a quick break. Thought one of her teammates on the Jayhawks wanted to give her some special instruction. Just cheering her on. 1999 Kansas State representative for the girls scratch division at the Coca-Cola Championships, leaves the 1-2 at the 8 sleeper behind.
Same kind of deal. You got to get the ball left of the head pin. The ball hits the head pin, 2-pin into the 8-pin.
Well, it says that one of Barry's great skills is that she is a great listener, so maybe she was listening to you to explain how to pick up this spare.
I certainly hope so. And let's see if she did. Oh, that's perfect. Oh, yeah.
Of course, the bowlers can't hear us right now, but maybe a little mental telepathy did it for her this time.
Yeah, it was a mental thing.
It's certainly a mental thing, and knowing how mental you are, my friend,
thank you.
I can understand that.
Perfect. Ball left side of the head pin, 2-pin drives into the 8. Well done.
And so there you have it. 4 frames of traditional style bowling. And finally, St. John's gets rolling here. They are working on a spare after picking up that split, the 4th frame. But it's still the Jayhawks of the University of Kansas. They are in the lead. 57 working on a spare in the 4th. And right now, it is, in fact, a commanding lead.